This video is brought to you by The Fade. All things National Fade League related. The magazine. The Fade. You guys want to buy 12 issues, one issue a month for $74.99. You can get it right now. But wait, if you buy it right now, you can get a copy of Madden 17, the full game, for free. But there's more. If you hurry up and call in right now, you can get the college football preview of The Fade for free. That's right, 24 issues, $749.99, and Madden 17 plus shipping and handling. Call right now, 1-800-THE-FADE. Hi, I'm Ezekiel Powers, back in with another week number 9 this week in Sportscenter National Fade League. Top stories of the week: Leroy Butler's NFL debut as a head coach, rivalry week for division rivals in the NFL, and the injury report for week number 9. So let's get into the first Thursday night matchup. You see the Atlanta Falcons defeating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 25-14. You see Julio Jones. Matt Ryan had 179, 2 touchdowns. Julio Jones, a $124 and 2 touchdowns. All those yards and touchdowns went to Julio Jones. He took over this game. As you see, Jameis Winston, 4 picks. Mike Evans, though, 6 receptions, 107 yards, and a touchdown. Moving on to the next game, you see the Pittsburgh Steelers defeating the Baltimore Ravens 26-8. Now, in this loss, Paxton Lynch threw 3 interceptions. However, C.J. Mosley, 11 tackles, a sack, 2 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery. However, that wasn't enough to stop the Steelers' offense. Moving on, you see the Dallas Cowboys almost losing in a trap game to the Cleveland Browns 41-38. Dak Prescott 310, 4 TDs, and an interception. Ezekiel Elliott, a $130 on the ground, 2 touchdowns. Dez Bryant, 2 touchdowns as well. Jimmy Garoppolo played a fantastic game, no interceptions, and 4 TDs. Moving on to the Jaguars versus the Chiefs, we have Mariota in overtime defeating the Chiefs. 384 yards, 4 TDs, and 3 picks. Will Lutz, the kicker for the Jaguars, 4 for 5 on the day, including a 53-yard game-winning field goal in overtime. Moving on, the New York Jets finally get their first win as they defeat the Miami Dolphins 17-14. Ryan Fitzpatrick did throw 3 interceptions, but 2 touchdowns. Also, Safari Jenkins, 10 receptions, 82 yards. Brandon Marshall, 102 yards, and a touchdown. Moving on, we see the New York Giants beating the Philadelphia Eagles once again. Man, they have crashed and burned 27-24. Carson Wentz, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Jordan Matthews, 3 receptions, 43 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Sterling Shepard with 3 receptions, 50 yards, and a touchdown. Moving on to the next game, we have the Detroit Lions taking on the Vikings. It's tied up 7-7, but look at Bostic jumping up, leaping over Adrian Peterson, get the interception. Now, later on in the fourth quarter, it is 38-14. Game's pretty much over, and look at Teddy Bridgewater in the pocket searching and finds Bostic, who's on the other team. Once again, 2 interceptions for Jonathan Bostic as the Lions win 38-14. Matthew Stafford, 412, 5 TDs, and an interception. Golden Tate III, what a game. 6 receptions, 202 yards, and 2 TDs. As you see, Adrian Peterson didn't do much on the ground with just only 51 yards and no touchdowns. Moving on to the next one, we have the Carolina Panthers taking on the Los Angeles Rams. Cam Newton, 112 yards, did have a rushing touchdown, but Jonathan Stewart, what a day. 122 on the ground, a rushing touchdown, and a receiving touchdown. Look at Gurley, not doing much, only 70 yards on the ground. Brian Quick did have a 63-yard reception touchdown. Moving on to the next one, we have the 49ers defeating the New Orleans Saints as Colin Kaepernick, 262, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. Torrey Smith, a $156, 2 touchdowns, but Chris Pope, 18 carries, 183 yards, 8 receptions, 61 yards, and 2 rushing TDs on the game. He had a career day for him. Moving on, we had the Titans taking on the Chargers, and right here, 3rd and 10 in the red zone, right there. As you see, Phillip Rivers throws a pick to Spence in the end zone after going no huddle, tied up, going into the 2-minute warning in the first half. Gronkowski just bullies his way for that touchdown. Now at the end of the first half, no timeouts left, 30 seconds left. You see right there, they throw a floater to Gronkowski, gets found in the end zone once again, 14-7. Third quarter is about to end, and Corey Coleman goes up and snags in what could be one of the plays of the year as Corey Coleman gets that. However, the Chargers down by 7, no timeouts, a minute left, and right there, the rookie Kevin Dodd on the blitz gets the safety to seal the win, 23-14. The Titans move on to 8-1, Chargers 1-8. Blake Bortles, 205, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. Corey Coleman with that fantastic catch, 6 receptions, 114, and a touchdown. However, Antonio Gates did have a nice day, 5 receptions, 87 yards, and a touchdown. Travis Benjamin, 64 yards, and a touchdown. Moving on to the next one, we have the Packers and Leroy Butler's NFL debut, losing 26-22 to the Indianapolis Colts. Andrew Luck, 2 TDs passing. Frank Gore had 2 TDs on the ground. Ty Montgomery, 10 carries, 72 yards on the day. Akeem Ayers had about 4.5 sacks on the day. That was pretty big. So moving on to the next one, Sunday night. Denver Broncos taking on the Oakland Raiders. You see Alshon Jeffrey getting that screen pass in the first quarter. Moving on to the early third quarter, Derek Carr, strip fumble, touchdown by the Broncos. Now later on, right after that, very next possession, they throw it deep to Amari Cooper, who's able to get that touchdown, snagging over Chris Hayes Jr., but late in the fourth quarter, the Broncos are able to seal it with a run by C.J. Anderson, and they're going to win 32-21. Joe Flacco, 209, a touchdown to Alshon Jeffrey on that screen and 2 interceptions. C.J. Anderson, 67 yards to the ground and a touchdown. Derek Carr, 5 interceptions. That was a key. And Latavius Murray, 6 carries, had a rushing touchdown, but was -1 yards on the day. Monday night matchup as Odell Beckham Jr. left early with the arm injury. 411 yards for Tyrod Taylor, but Sammy Watkins, 15 receptions, 246 yards, and 3 touchdowns on Monday night, showing out. As you see, his arm injury is a dislocated elbow. Odell Beckham will be out for 9 weeks. Corey Coleman, broken ribs, he's out 5 weeks. And Terrell Suggs, shoulder tear, will be out 4 weeks. That is the injury report for this week, and it's going to be real hard pause for these Buffalo Bills to do it without Odell Beckham. Well, these are your primetime players for week number 9. Hopefully we have new primetime players next week, more NFL, more highlights, and catch a special trade preview talk between Chris Berman and Tom Jackson in the next video. I'm Ezekiel Powers, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.